What if I told you that motivation is lying to you? That the reason you keep starting and stopping, chasing goals and dropping them, has nothing to do with how driven you are, and everything to do with how disciplined you are not. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning when the spark dies. And if you're tired of feeling stuck, unfulfilled, or like your potential is just out of reach, then the next 30 days might be the most important of your life. Because this isn't just another self-help challenge. It's a full-blown reset, test of consistency, grit, transformation that proves to yourself that you are capable of doing hard things, with or without feeling like it. And once you understand how to build discipline over motivation, you unlock a superpower most never discover. Let's get one thing straight. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's not about waking up at 5 a.m. just to feel superior or grinding nonstop to impress strangers on the internet. It's about keeping your word to yourself. It's about showing up when it's inconvenient, tired, uncomfortable, boring, or even painful. It's about mastering the small decisions that compound into the big results everyone wants, but few are willing to earn. Now think about your life right now. How many things do you want to do? Work out, eat clean, build a business, read more, wake up early, but always find a reason not to. You say you need motivation, but what you really need is a system. It's a simple, ruthless structure that trains your brain to do the right thing regardless of how you feel. That's where the 30-day discipline challenge comes in. No fluff, no gimmicks. Just a brutally effective way to build a foundation of discipline that can carry you for a lifetime. So how does it work? First, you commit to showing up every day for 30 days. It's no exceptions, no breaks. The exact habits are up to you, but they must push you out of your comfort zone. They must require consistency, and they must be tracked. Some examples. Wake up at the same time every day. No snooze. Exercise for at least 30 minutes. Cold shower, no processed sugar. Read 10 pages of a non-fiction book. Plan your day the night before. Meditate for 10 minutes. You pick 5. But here's the kicker. It doesn't matter how motivated you feel. The point is not to hype yourself up. It's to create an identity around being disciplined. To rewire your brain so action becomes automatic, not optional. And it's going to be hard. On day 1, you might feel excited. On day 3, tired. By day 10, the voice in your head will say, take a break. One day off won't hurt. That's when the real work begins. That's when you meet the version of yourself that either takes control or falls back into old habits. But if you push through, if you silence that voice and do it anyway, something incredible happens. You start to trust yourself. You stop negotiating with excuses. You start seeing results. Maybe your body feels stronger, your mind sharper, your focus clearer. Maybe your mood lifts. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you actually feel proud of the person staring back at you in the mirror. Because discipline builds confidence, and confidence builds momentum. And momentum, once you have it, is unstoppable.
But let's take a step back. Why does discipline work better than motivation? Because motivation is based on emotion. It's temporary. It shows up randomly when conditions are perfect.
But life isn't perfect.
Life is messy and chaotic and full of distractions.
If you rely on motivation, you're relying on a guest that never shows up when you need it most. Discipline, on the other hand, is built like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. It's not exciting, and it's rarely glamorous, but it works. The athlete who trains at 6 a.m. when it's raining, the writer who types for an hour, even with writer's block, the student who studies while everyone else is partying, these aren't the most motivated people. They're just the most disciplined. And discipline doesn't care if you're in the mood. It only cares that you do the thing. Now here's the part most people don't talk about. Discipline doesn't mean hustle 24/7. It's not about punishing yourself or chasing burnout. In fact, true discipline includes rest. It includes boundaries. It means knowing when to push and when to recover, but choosing both intentionally, not emotionally. For example, let's say you're on day 16 of the challenge. You're sore, your schedule is tight, and the last thing you want to do is go for that workout. You don't need to crush a personal best. You just need to move. Stretch, walk, lift something light. It's not about going hard. It's about honoring the habit. This kind of mental shift is everything. Because once discipline becomes part of your identity, it's no longer about willpower. It's about alignment. Don't try to act disciplined, you are disciplined. And that changes how you approach everything. Health, work, relationships, goals. You stop waiting for the right time and start creating it. So what happens after 30 days? Something permanent? You realize you don't need to feel inspired to take action. You act first and let the feelings follow. You realize your excuses are just stories you've been telling yourself, and you can write a new one. You realize consistency, not intensity, is the key to progress. And most importantly, you realize that the person you've been chasing was inside you the whole time. It's buried under layers of doubt, fear, and distraction. This challenge forces you to meet that person, to confront the habits that hold you back and replace them with habits that build you up. It's not easy. In fact, it might be one of the hardest things you've done, but it's worth it. Because nothing feels better than earning your own respect. Let me be clear. This isn't about becoming superhuman. It's about becoming someone you can count on. Someone who doesn't quit when things get uncomfortable. Someone who chooses growth over ease. Someone who shows up not because they have to, but because that's who they are. And yes, you'll mess up. Maybe you miss a day. Maybe you fall short. That's not failure. That's feedback. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means bouncing back without starting over. It means staying in the fight, even if you get knocked down. Because the truth is, life doesn't reward the most talented. It rewards the most consistent. The people who keep showing up when others stop. The ones who keep building when no one's watching. The ones who choose discipline daily, quietly, relentlessly. So are you ready? Not ready to be perfect? Not ready to be pumped up by a temporary wave of motivation, but ready to do the work. To test yourself. To prove that you're not defined by your feelings, but by your follow-through. If so, start today. Choose your 5 habits. Write them down, track them. Set your alarm. Prepare your environment. And when the voice in your head tries to negotiate, remember this. That voice has lied to you before. You don't need comfort. You need commitment. The next 30 days could change your life. Not because of what you achieve, but because of who you become. Discipline over motivation. Every single time. And when you live by that, you stop chasing progress and start creating it. One decision, one day, one disciplined action at a time. You've got 30 days. Start now.